It began with a gavel strike that echoed louder than the courtroom walls. "Miss Leavitt," Judge John Roberts declared sternly, "you are fined $50,000 for contempt of court and obstruction. This court will not tolerate theatrics." The room went still. Reporters stopped scribbling. Even the air felt heavier. Karoline Leavitt, standing in the defendant's box, didn't flinch. At 29, she'd built a quiet reputation for being a sharp, principled legal advocate, the kind who worked pro bono for immigrant families, veterans, and wrongfully accused inmates. But today, she stood alone, accused of withholding evidence in a high-profile corporate fraud case involving a powerful pharmaceutical company. The twist: she wasn't the defendant, she was the whistleblower's lawyer. 2 months earlier, Karoline had received an anonymous tip, internal memos showing a major drug firm had concealed data linking one of its medications to severe side effects. The whistleblower, a soft-spoken chemist named Elena, had tried to go through official channels but was buried in legal threats. Karoline had taken the case without charging a dime, but when she tried to submit the documents in court, Judge Roberts, renowned for his rigid courtroom and rumored political ties, ruled them inadmissible. "They're not properly sourced. Chain of custody is unclear," he said. Karoline protested, loudly, passionately, too passionately. "Contempt of court," he ruled. And so here she stood. Fined, humiliated, cornered. But Karoline wasn't done. After court adjourned, she walked silently to her car, trailed by cameras and microphones. "Are you going to appeal? Will you pay the fine? Is your career over?" She didn't answer. She had other plans. That night, in her tiny Boston apartment, Karoline opened her laptop and clicked on a file only 2 people knew existed. Project Grey Leaf, confirmed. The proof was there: video conferences, emails, toxicology reports, all showing executives knowingly approving the harmful drug while burying internal studies. It was damning, but more importantly, it was legally obtained. Elena, the whistleblower, had finally decided to go public. But Karoline knew that dumping it online would cause chaos. She needed impact and integrity. So she called someone she once mentored, Noah Blake, a journalist at The Guardian known for exposing injustice with dignity and accuracy. 3 days later, the exposé exploded across every major outlet in the US, UK, and Canada. Secret files reveal Big Pharma cover-up, and the woman WHO stood alone to fight it. In the accompanying video, Elena bravely told her story, ending with words that cracked even the most skeptical hearts. "Karoline believed in me when no one else did." She didn't just save the truth. She saved lives. The nation was stunned. Public outrage poured in. Within 48 hours, the Department of Justice announced a federal investigation. The pharmaceutical stock plummeted, and Judge Roberts, well, he called an emergency court session. This time, as Karoline walked into the courtroom, the energy was different. Judge Roberts cleared his throat. "Miss Leavitt, the court acknowledges its previous error in suppressing key evidence. Furthermore, in light of new disclosures, your fine is rescinded and expunged from the record." Karoline said nothing, not out of bitterness, but grace. She knew the battle wasn't personal, it was principled. As the session ended, the judge stood awkwardly. "I underestimated you," he said quietly. "You did the right thing." She looked him in the eye. "No," she replied softly. "We all have to do the right thing. That's the job." Outside, as snow began to fall, Elena hugged her tightly. A group of volunteers Karoline had helped over the years, single mothers, veterans, young law students, had gathered to show support. Some cried, some cheered, but all shared one thing: belief in what compassion, courage, and quiet integrity could accomplish. Later that week, Karoline received a letter from a stranger in Saskatchewan. "Greater than, my sister was on that drug. We never knew what caused her illness. Thank you for fighting when it wasn't your battle. People like you remind us that justice can still be kind." She folded it and kept it in her wallet. In a world quick to judge, one act of selfless truth had shifted the narrative. Not with shouting, not with revenge, but with humanity, and a heart that refused to bend under pressure.